Bill, thank you so much for joining us today and for just giving us some insight into how you got started with Phin, how that experience has been, and how your customers are doing. So, I guess the first question I have is what challenges drove you to evaluate a new security awareness training program? And anything happen within your MSP to kind of drive that search?
Yeah, look, we took over quite a large client who was using a competitor to Fin originally, and that contract came to end of life. Because it was a large client, I really wanted to make sure that we were optimizing the spend per user because these things, everyone's pretty sick of subscription creep at the moment, and it's front of mind. So what became a fairly cursory look across the market ended up with Fin and KnowBe4, and ultimately it was Fin's engagement model around MSP first, I guess you'd say, as opposed to a model where we potentially had another vendor walking into our deals and sort of co-selling, which I'm not really comfortable for, and I think it's just inefficient, right? So Fin ticked the boxes on price. Obviously, the quality of the offering is great as well, and then the speed to market is the third parameter there, I guess. We were up and running, credit card down within sort of days, rather than signing MSAs and the like. So it's just been a no regrets decision. I'm yet to find a downside.
That's wonderful. I actually had a question around your time to deployment. You were able to deploy like 1,100 seats in a matter of days.
Yes.
What did that look like? For your technicians, and what was the overall feeling around that onboarding of your clients with Fin?
Yeah, you know what? I don't even know because it just happened. So I probably did the bad boss thing and went out on my own, found Finn, said, "This looks great, let's do it," and then didn't really bring my staff on the ride for the decision, which I should have done. But I think the cool thing was that when my IT and security manager sort of went and poked around, he kind of had no questions for me, and he went and deployed it himself. And so I actually didn't even get involved at that point. It just kind of happened. And within, days, it was out. We sent 2 emails, one to the client's IT manager saying, "Hey, this is coming. Let you, as discussed." It wasn't new news to them. And so they ran their change management piece. They chose to let staff know. I find some clients like the sport of not letting their staff know, which maybe I kind of agree with too. But they let their staff know, and it was kind of done. And the only thing that we should have done first, which we didn't, was set up the monthly reporting. And so that was probably our one afterthought. But it was the easiest deployment of any platform I've worked with.
Your team did attend an onboarding session with Fin, correct? Just for an initial walkthrough and kind of a tour of the platform.
Yeah, and that was great. Yeah, and so I think we did have some tenancies up and running before we even did that onboarding session. Though the platform is, it does what it says on the label, right? There's no huge intricacies to it, which is a good thing. So that onboarding session was super helpful, but we probably could have survived without it if we really needed to as well.
Has your staff had to train any other staff members on using Fin?
No, we're just at the point where we're starting to get through the reporting and help our clients operationalize some of those insights. That's where this, that's the challenge we all have as security professionals, which, we can monitor, we report, but I find in my personal experience, the paper just piles up. And so we don't want to spend this money and effort telling people something that they're not going to action. So the reporting's really good. It's about helping clients turn those stats into a trend of improvement. So we're actually getting an ROI on the Phin spend, because I think that's we can deploy all the platforms, but it's really about what businesses uh, choose to do with that information and that capability.
Did you have to convince any customers to use Fin, or really just any security awareness training platform? How do you go about getting that buy-in from your customers?
Yeah, look, we're a security first managed service provider. So our whole value proposition is that we don't water down the security aspect of managed services. Whereas a lot of our, people in our cohort are okay selling people business basic subscriptions, and sort of pretending that they're doing security. We actually see that as detrimental to everyone involved, except maybe the person receiving the invoice, receiving payment for the invoice. So our bar for cybersecurity is high. We don't offer the option to not have cybersecurity training, 24/7 security operations center, and business premium licensing, so that we get this and a few other bells and whistles in Enable and the like. So we have an ecosystem that out of the box is extremely secure. That's why the price point for Fin and it integrating really well is important for us as well, because we don't want it to be cost prohibitive or something that's going to lose us deals. We need to sort of have both. It needs to be amazing and it needs to be kind of cheap or manageable, and we've achieved that. So we find it's a value add. I think there's a lot of people who are filling out, cybersecurity insurance forms at the moment. It's a big thing here in Australia. We've had some really big breaches. It's a big thing everywhere, really. But people are having to tick that box that says, I do cybersecurity training with my staff. And, 9 out of 10 people know that they're not really, but they could probably, if push came to shove, they would probably produce some PowerPoint presentation that they sent round to staff 12 months ago. So, yeah, it's a really great value add. I intentionally use it as a source of competitive advantage.
So, compared to your previous security awareness training platform that you used, is Fin saving you a significant amount of time or resources or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. So the effort to administer Fin is almost, we're talking hours a month, and that's getting reporting out and actually reviewing it ourselves to see what insight that we can get. I think there's a lot more we could be doing in terms of curating content proactively, and the time that's been freed up using Fin. That's what we'd like to reallocate some of that to, but we're not quite there yet. That's a journey we're going on.
Do you have any kind of measuring stick to kind of evaluate Fin and its effectiveness?
We do a lot of anecdotal information is sometimes the best source. So we get lots of queries coming through saying, "Is this real?" From the phishing simulations that happen, we get lots of comparative feedback around the course content compared to previous suppliers being probably more snackable in some cases, which suits our demographic really well. It's the Instagram generation, it's small bite-sized content. We still have the larger modules, but that front of mind, and people see the email coming through rather than flagging it for something they'll do tomorrow and never get round to. They kind of just click the link, do the thing, and it's just this positive reinforcement loop. In terms of hard metrics, phishing attempts clicked on, that number needs to go down. The people consuming the training, that number going up. And I think the thing that we should probably be reminding people leaders about that has kind of just occurred to me is that, how much time are we spending following people up for their cybersecurity training now compared to what they used to. I've had to do it in the past across hundreds of people, and it's a really thankless job following people up to do their training. And I think we're not. It feels like we're not doing that in this new world. There's gentle reminders, but it is kind of just happening.
Yeah, with the Fin platform, they're reminded, I believe, every 7 days if they
Yeah,
don't have a training complete. And the onus is not on you to remind. The platform just knows you have
yeah,
incomplete training. So,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
very good. If you could look into the future and think about security awareness training and phishing prevention, what would a tool in the future have that maybe it's just not there yet?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest opportunity is hyper personalization and getting and automating that spear phishing content that knows a little bit more about the end user and really gives it a red hot go to see how far it can get down the path with impersonation. Um, I think that also extends to the phishing training being, the simulations being right place, right time as well. So there's some really cool smarts that I think we can all look forward to, and I have no doubt are on your roadmap, Mary, for the future of the product. Um, Beyond that, I think the ability for people to go a bit deeper if they want and have that. I think I'm seeing more people be really more engaged and starting to feel maybe a bit more empowered about cybersecurity and seeing it as a capability in a business sense, not just in a technology sense. And I think the more that platforms can do to make people feel empowered, like they can um, hold their own in a conversation, have a valid opinion, that's gonna really uplift us as not just technologists but people sort of living in the world that we live in at the moment. So I think any platform that can do that and do that for in a way that speaks to people where they are on their journey at the moment is going to be good for all of us.
That makes so much sense. If an MSP came up to you at the pub or wherever you might be and said, "Hey, who should I use?" What would you tell them about Finn?
Yeah. Oh, look, I would, and I have. It's just a no-brainer. I think if you're a organization, especially in the SME space or non-technical organization, if that's your end user, Fin is right in that. That's the sweet spot. I speak to so many MSPs that don't have a solution for this, or they have like a bolt-on solution for this, where and there's lots of them that are kind of ticking the box. I think, or not ticking the box at all, as the case may be. Fin is to me that first step you should take. And as I said, it's a no regrets decision. The price point is really good. We choose to pass it on for free, but I think there's significant opportunity to put some decent margin on there as well. So why wouldn't you? And the support has been awesome as well, obviously.
Wonderful. I think one of our postcards says, "Our support is so good, you'll want to have a beer with us."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Well, I
that's
think
it.
those are all the questions I have. Bill, we just want to thank you so much for being a fanatic and being
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh God.
I could go on and on.
So good. Yeah.
Not a day that goes by without a pun. So
Yeah.
anyway,
No,
we'll
that's fine.
have a wonderful day. And if you need anything, you know how to reach us.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day.